Good evening, I'm Haley Wilgus.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks for being with us tonight. Topping our news tonight, in just about an hour, the future of one of the most valuable pieces of waterfront property on the Suncoast will be up for discussion.
The City of Sarasota's Planning Board will be holding a special meeting to look over the next phase of plans to develop the old Quay waterfront site. ABC 7's Ray Collins is joining us live from Sarasota City Hall with a preview. Ray.
Yeah, actually, I'm at the Bayfront right now, Haley and Scott. Developers are asking the Planning Board to approve the overall design of this Sarasota Bayside project. If you've lived here more than 9-10 years, you know all about what was here before, the Quay. It was a complex, salmon-colored, about 10 stories high, with offices and restaurants right there on the water and stores. It fell out of favor in the late 1990s. Then by the early 2000s, a group called the Irish Development wanted to come in here and spend $1 billion to redo the Quay. They knocked it down back in 2007. And after all that, the recession came next, and this field has sat dormant. 14 acres, 9 city blocks, has sat dormant for almost 10 years. Tonight we'll have the next stage, though, where again the developers asked the Planning Board for approval of the overall design. And the design would include, again, condos, apartments, restaurants, commercial space, 9 city blocks, all part of the Bayfront redevelopment. If things go well, they could start doing things here by the end of this year. More at 11. For now, back to you in the studio.
All right, Ray, thank you. The trial for a Manatee County man accused in a triple murder has now been pushed back until next year. Andy Avalos was supposed to be tried beginning October 17th. A circuit court judge has now granted a motion for a continuance. It's now the trial is set to begin on May 8th and is expected to last up to 3 weeks. The decision comes after Avalos' attorney requested a delay due to the lack of the availability of a medical professional that the defense is using as a witness. Avalos' attorney also plans to rely on an insanity defense in the trial.
7 red light cameras in Bradenton will be turned off as the city searches for someone to replace its current vendor. ABC 7's Adam Cellini is joining us live from Bradenton with more on today's decision from city council members. Adam.
Scott and Haley, good evening. I'm standing here at the intersection of US 301 and Manatee Avenue in Bradenton. It's an intersection a lot of drivers have an issue with because the traffic camera here catches a number of people making that slow-moving, rolling right-handed turn at a red light. And several of the city council members today agreed that that's not really what they had in mind when they hear traffic cameras help promote driver safety. And that's why, while they agreed to continue traffic cameras here, they want to try and change things up and do it better the second time around. Bradenton City Councilman Patrick Roth sums up just about everyone's thoughts leaving the city chambers on Wednesday.
It was kind of a confusing meeting.
Instead of renewing their red light camera contract with current provider Xerox, council members voted to put out a request for proposal to see if other vendors can address some concerns.
We're open for the idea of red light cameras, but we want them to pass the integrity test.
For months, the debate has been whether or not to continue red light cameras. Some council members worried they're too strict for drivers, while others, like Gene Brown, arguing lawbreakers should be punished.
A millisecond is, after the yellow light, a millisecond's enough to kill somebody.
The common ground Wednesday was displeasure with Xerox. Since the vendor picked camera locations in 2010, citations at the 7 intersections has more than tripled, while the number of accidents has remained steady.
We all believe that there are intersections that are dangerous that don't have cameras on them, and that there are intersections that we do not consider to be dangerous that do have cameras on them.
As the city looks to fulfill a new contract, Bradenton Police says they will immediately stop issuing tickets for the current cameras. A bittersweet ending for traffic camera advocate Melissa Wandel.
There's good and bad there. We know that they want to continue the program, but at the same time stopping a program and the cameras going dark. We certainly don't want that, so I really urge City Council to really get those RFPs out there to these other companies.
If it were up to her, there'd be another meeting as soon as possible.
We need to get them up here tomorrow.
Now, council members were also concerned that these have just become a revenue generator for the provider, and here are some numbers. Since 2010, the city has collected nearly $270,000 on these cameras. They estimate Xerox collects the same amount in the same amount of time on top of what the city already pays them monthly for a service fee. Live in Bradenton, I'm Adam Cellini. Scott and Haley, back to you.
Thank you, Adam. Well, looking outside, especially during Ray's live shot, you could see the skies getting a little ominous. We heard that
almost
thunder.
Hear some thunder, I think, too, during that. Let's get the latest on our weather this afternoon with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Yeah, tale of two cities, really. Adam, in Bradenton, where no rain around, and Ray right there in Sarasota at the quay, or the old quay, and you can see that's where the storms are really pounding. Get a look at tower cam from our building here in 10th Street, looking out over Sarasota Bay. And you can see the tremendous downpour. The atmosphere really juiced up, so the rain that's occurring is torrential at times. And as we're looking off toward the west there and panning north a little bit, that is moving toward, looks like right now over Lido and possibly the north end of Siesta Key, and then eventually Bird Key, moving off toward Longbow Key. Let's go to the maps to show you. Now, these storms have really just flared up within the last hour, and again, some pretty heavy rainfall, especially offshore. Sea breeze never getting much inland, and so it's really developing right near us, and you see that heavy rainfall now. North end of Siesta through Lido, and then the south end of Longboat Key. Other showers to the east of that, and some down near Osprey right now, but by far the heaviest rainfall near US 41. A few lightning strikes as well occurring with these cells, so be careful out there. Well, more in our forecast. And Fiona, a tropical storm way out there in the Atlantic. Details on that coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. A proposed boutique hotel on Longboat Key is facing some resistance from local residents. As you drive onto the island, you can see signs reading, "Don't add traffic," and "Vote no hotel." The hotel the signs are referring to would take the place of a vacant gas station and office space. But with only one road running through the middle of the island, residents worry it could add to the existing traffic problems there, especially during the tourist season.
I cannot believe a town commission or anybody would want to add to traffic with a hotel or any big major development. At the same time, we have the worst traffic backups and traffic jams in my time here on Longboat Key.
Residents will have the opportunity to vote on the proposed hotel on August 30th during the primary, and the developer has to have more than 50% of that vote before moving forward with the project.
Sarasota County is looking for the public's opinion on building a new park. Tonight, a workshop will be held to get input on a new park planned at the north side of Sarasota County. It will be located on a 6-acre piece of land at the corner of 46th Street and North Tamiami Trail. County staff will discuss the improvements planned for this property and look for ideas from residents on what else should be added. The meeting starts at 6 o'clock at the Crossroads United Methodist Church on North Tamiami Trail in Sarasota. Shark Week is still underway at Moat Marine Aquarium.
It's been a busy week for kids and adults learning all about these predators of the sea. Shark Week started this past Sunday. Moat held a fundraiser at Cycle Bar to promote the event. Earlier this week, they showed a free screening of the movie Jaws. And this is the second year of Shark Week at Moat.
We're always here to educate people year-round about the importance of lots of different animals in our oceans. And one of our favorites to talk about is sharks, because they are top predators. They help keep the ecosystems in balance, and they can be misunderstood.
Shark Week is free with a Moat Marine admission, and on Saturday, kids will have a chance to show off their creative side by coloring and drawing all things Jaws and sharks in the aquarium's courtyard. Also on that day, the Fins and Fun Family Festival. Shark Week ends this weekend. Still some time to get out and enjoy it, have some fun.
Yeah.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, terror at a theme park in Connecticut when 6 children are shocked on one of the rides. Now, officials say it could have happened.
And ABC 7 Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your full weather forecast as we hear the thunder rumble outside. Plus, how you lay your baby down for bed could have a negative impact on their health. That's coming up.
Hi, I'm Dylan Radigan. The world is brimming with possibilities. And that keeps me busy. My latest invention may be able to feed and sustain communities around the world. My team and I are always on the go, meeting new people and seeing new places. I produce films that I really care about. It's an honor to speak to audiences around the world. When people come together, meaningful work gets done. How do I do all this? Well, that part's easy. Hotelplanner.com.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Just because someone grows older, does that mean they have to grow apart from their friends or from the things they love to do? With Right at Home, it doesn't. Right at Home's professional team thoughtfully selects caregivers to help with personal care, housekeeping, meals, and most of all, staying engaged in life.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Are you ready to go?
Oh, I sure am.
We can provide the right care right at home.
Welcome back, two of my favorite guests, Cash 3 and Play 4.
Surprise! We're Pick 3 and Pick 4 now.
Whoa!
But we still play exactly the same. We just got a fresh new look.
Speaking of surprises, I have one for you. Say hello to Pick 2 and Pick 5!
Introducing the complete Pick family of games.
We're family now.
The new Pick 2 and Pick 5 have joined Pick 3 and Pick 4 to give you more choices in your daily gameplay. The Florida Lottery. Just imagine.
A message from the Pulaski Law Firm. You started there right out of high school, learned your trade and did it well. And the asbestos you handled, well, that was just part of the job. If you worked in the trades and were diagnosed with mesothelioma, get the best care available, then call us. You may be entitled to financial compensation without ever going to court.
Call 800-236-4994.
And see how we can help. Mesothelioma, don't fight it alone.
It's Lincoln's summer sales event here at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKZ for only $299 per month, or a 2016 Lincoln MKX, Lincoln's premium sports utility vehicle, for $339 per month. We also have a great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. Drive with the confidence of a 6-year, 100,000-mile comprehensive warranty and complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, family owned and operated, and winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award. We are located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
6 children are shocked by electricity at a theme park in Connecticut.
Children were on a ride at the time. This is just the latest in recent theme park accidents to be reported. ABC's Adrian Bankert has a story.
Fear in a place that should have been fun and games. Several children electrified as they got off an amusement park ride.
We have 6 to 7 victims, all minor.
First responders racing to the scene of Ocean Beach Park in New London, Connecticut.
Emergency services transported several children to the local hospital who received some type of electrical shock. The most serious injured had some small burns on the palms of his hands from when he touched some of the metal railing when he was getting off the ride.
Officials say wiring underneath the Scrambler ride may have been a factor. The park issuing this statement. The safety of our guests is always our #1 priority. We will continue to work closely to find out the answer.
There's risk in every amusement ride. Majority of the incidents that occur on amusement rides today, whether at a fixed park or at a traveling carnival, are human error.
It's the latest in a string of rides gone wrong. Last week, news of a 3-year-old boy falling from this Pennsylvania roller coaster.
I've got 30 kids that have fell from the Ferris wheel.
Then 3 girls tumbling 40 feet to the ground from their Ferris wheel cart at a Tennessee carnival.
I was really scared.
1 child still in the hospital with brain injuries. And 10-year-old Caleb Schwab killed on the world's tallest water slide in Kansas City, Kansas last Sunday. Now, in the case of the Ferris wheel incident, ABC News has learned that there were no restraints or seat belts, something operators say isn't required on this sort of ride. As for the children who were electrified, they've all been treated at the hospital and released. Adrian Bankert, ABC News, New York.
In Mississippi, jurors will be weighing in on whether a Texas lawyer and 6 others faked damage claims after the 2010 Gulf of Mexico oil spill. Prosecutors say they created a list of bogus plaintiffs, including people who died before the spill and people whose names and social security numbers were used without permission. Overall, this lawyer and his co-defendants are facing 66 charges. They're arguing the government hasn't proven that they intended to defraud anyone. Motions have been filed seeking an acquittal. In Louisiana, rescue and recovery efforts continue as deadly flooding leaves entire communities underwater. The Red Cross has sent more than 1,000 disaster volunteers to help with flood relief efforts. There have been more than 30,000 rescues. So far, the waters have killed 11 people and damaged at least 40,000 homes. And they're sending some items like caskets floating down the streets. Some water levels are receding in areas, but others are actually becoming more flooded as rivers rise. The situation has left many families unable to return to their homes.
It's like the end of your life, end of your world, having to start over like that.
Some parishes with widespread flooding damage have been placed under curfew because of scattered reports of looting.
I guess it's going to take a while for that water to go somewhere.
30 inches of rain, plus 30 in some places in some of those parishes, just devastating. And that was that slow-moving low. We talked about it 2 weekends ago, and it was just sitting here. We got like 5 inches of rain from it, but offshore in the Northeast Gulf, there was up to 30 inches of rain there. It just amazes me how much these little systems can cause all sorts of havoc. We saw that with Allison 2001. That was a weak system at that, but 4 days of straight rain in Houston. I always hope we don't get anything like that, and obviously I hope we don't get any hurricane either, but I would not want to see us dealing with 30 inches of rainfall here on the west coast of Florida. It would be devastating. We're getting some rain right now. Sandy Bauer just sending this in within the last 15 minutes out on Lido, and showers are indeed moving across the beaches right now in Sarasota County, specifically Sarasota, Siesta, Longboat, and Lido getting the rainfall, at least the south end of Lido. The north end got some just about 10 minutes ago. Van Wezel webcam also will show the skies darkening as we move through time throughout this afternoon. You can see a pretty decent day, though, and now the showers are kind of moving in and training over the same area, but they're moving at a pretty good clip, anywhere from 10 to 15 miles an hour. The steady flow from the east to the west across the state is not allowing that sea breeze to hold the rain off and cause a tremendous lift and build of these storms, which typically happens during this time of year. I think it will be around tomorrow. There's some indication that we're going to see a west wind start around 2, 3 o'clock, and that will mean a little bit more activity, more intense, and the storm is not moving as fast. But for the time being, with high pressure to the north and the low pressure over the deep south, we're seeing kind of a stronger easterly wind flow. You can see the heaviest rain now offshore. It's still occurring near Lido, though. Some pretty heavy rainfall still there, just starting to exit off of Lido and Longboat Key, some light rain, but another storm behind it. Now developing near downtown Sarasota. This one in particular around Kensington Park will move off to the west at 10 and will be in the North Sarasota by 5:25. I mentioned that system to the west of us is the same one. Actually, it's a front that absorbed the area of low pressure, but still causing rain across parts of Louisiana and into Texas tonight as more moisture is kind of streaming in there from the Gulf of Mexico. Not nearly as intense as it was on Saturday this past week, but still not helping the matter. 92 degrees and 95 so far. We're going to get the official high in a little bit, but it looks like 95 will be the official high, which is again well above average. The dew point high too at 75. That east wind continues. 91 degrees in Jacksonville. It's 90 in Orlando. So temperature's fairly warm across the state because a lack of storms around, really. 92 at Lake Placid, same at Avon Park, and look at all those 93s. Wauchula, Arcadia, and Lakewood Ranch and Cortez at 86 degrees. Well, that frontal boundary is now stationary, and that's always a problem, too, and a concern for the possibility of heavy rain, and all that's kind of moving down south along the Mississippi, which will only cause more flooding problems. Well, here it is, the 6th named storm of the season. It is Fiona, and it is a tropical storm. There's one behind it, too, that it looks like it may develop. But quickly, we saw the stats on it. The top winds are not all that strong, and it is moving off to the west-northwest. The forecast path and track continue in that general direction. Most of the models agree with this. It looks like, for the time being anyway, more than likely will turn to the open waters of the Atlantic and should not have any impact on any land area. It has to deal with a lot of dry air, too, but it's kind of isolated itself from that dry air right now, so it doesn't appear that it's going to gain much intensity due to the fact that that dry air is out ahead of it. And as far as we're concerned, we're not going to have to deal with that system at all, but we will have to deal with showers and storms scattered about through this evening. Most of the action should be over by, say, around 9 o'clock, and then we'll see partly cloudy to mostly fair skies overnight. Light chop for the bays and inland waters. Seas running 2 feet. Winds will start out of the east, turning to the west at 10 knots. Low tide upcoming 7:31. Early storms, and then mostly fair to partly cloudy overnight. Warm temperature 78. And then for tomorrow, look for late day storms. Again, a little bit better chance to see that west coast breeze. And we'll see showers and storms, or maybe a little more widespread tomorrow. And then the extended forecast calling for a pretty decent weekend, really, with showers and storms and chances for those late day storms all the way through it. Scott?
All right, Bob, thank you. And Suncoast Traffic Watch right now. No crashes to see in the area, but traffic is a little bit congested in Bradenton, as you might expect at this time of day. Further south in Sarasota, some little bit of backup on Bee Ridge Road. 75, though. Look at all the green on the map there. Just a little bit of yellow just north of Fruitville. And then as we head south from there, a lot of green on the map as well. So good news if you're heading out on the interstate or area roads. Haley?
Thank you, Scott. In health news tonight, despite repeated warnings to parents, many infants are still being put to bed with items such as bumper pads, pillows, and stuffed animals. A new study based on videos recorded in 160 children's homes found that 91% of 1-month-old infants had been placed in cribs with unsafe bedding. That's according to a report published in Pediatrics. Researchers also found 14% of those babies had been placed on their sides or on their stomachs rather than on their backs. All of these practices increase the risk of sleep-related infant death, the most common cause of death in babies this age. The rising cost of EpiPens are putting many with severe allergies at risk. Some families are opting not to buy them because they can't afford the life-saving epinephrine injectors, which reverse the allergic reaction. Reports show in 2009, pharmacies paid about $100 for a 2-pack of an EpiPen, but today that same package costs more than $600. Although the manufacturer Mylan says the price hike is due to improvements made to the device, critics say it's because of the company's multi-million-dollar marketing and advertising campaign. Mylan has the monopoly on this market after its primary competitor, Sanofi's Auvi-Q, issued a recall last year. A new study suggests the lack of access to fresh, healthy foods may put people at a higher risk for heart disease. People with healthy food stores within 1 mile of their homes had slower coronary artery calcium buildup over time than those who lived further away from fresh food sources in what's often called food deserts. Coronary artery calcium buildup hardens arteries and causes a condition that underlies many cases of heart disease. The healthy food availability was the only factor that upped this particular risk. Rec centers and walking trails in neighborhoods made really no difference. The results were published in the journal Circulation. Still to come on your Suncoast News, a state of emergency has been declared for parts of the West where wildfires continue to burn out of control. And one police officer's heroic rescue of a doll. Those stories when we come back.
August 26th, it's game on. Tune in weekly for highlights and scores from the top high school games happening along the Suncoast. Football Friday night, sponsored by your local Gulf Coast Honda dealers. Download ABC7's free all-new news app at your app store today.
Temperatures are rising, and the deals are hotter than ever during the summer clearance event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Get the all-new Chrysler Pacifica for just $26,999 and get an additional $1,000 off with a trade-in. Hurry! Time is running out to get the new Dodge Journey for just $15,999. And right now, get up to $10,000 off a new Ram Crew Cab. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
The official salon of ABC7. Cutting Loose Salon.
We've been slow smoking over oak for more than 45 years. And while sticking to tried and true traditions is kind of our thing, it doesn't hurt to throw something new in the smoker every now and then.
Come get some slow-smoked chicken wings at Sonny's Barbecue. Order them as an appetizer or as part of a combo with pork, baby back ribs, or both, starting at $10.99. Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmasters since '68.
Do you have what it takes to become a champion? The Sarasota YMCA Shark Swim Team has been developing champions since 1961. Fall swim team tryouts for kids ages 6 through 18 are being held August 15th through the 18th and August 22nd to the 25th from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. Tryouts are held at the Evelyn Sadler Jones Branch, YMCA's Selby Aquatic Center. For more information, visit sarasotaymca.org/sharks.
Welcome to the all-new Seymour Buick GMC on the island of Venice.
Seymour smiles.
Seymour selection of quality new and pre-owned vehicles.
Seymour for your trade-in.
Seymour savings.
Step up to GMC and get cash back for up to 12% of the MSRP on these select 2016 GMC vehicles. That's over $9,300 cash back on this Yukon.
Seymour now at Seymour Buick GMC on the island of Venice. Go to SeymourBuickGMC.com.
What started as a small brush fire has turned into a state of emergency in Southern California.
A wildfire dubbed the Blue Cut Fire has now burned at least 18,000 acres and forced 82,000 people to evacuate their homes. The flames in some places reached up to 80 feet, spreading in all directions through canyons east of Los Angeles. Firefighters say the damage so far is devastating, and a lot of families will be coming home to nothing.
If we ask you to leave, you have to leave. The worst thing that can happen is for folks to wait to the last minute.
Now, flames aboard, as of today, fire officials say there's little to no containment of this fire.
Flames aboard a cruise ship cut a vacation short in the Caribbean. The U.S. Coast Guard rescued more than 500 passengers after a small fire erupted on the Caribbean Fantasy near San Juan, Puerto Rico this morning. The smoke was first spotted in the engine room. There were no injuries reported. It docked safely in Puerto Rico. The cruise ship runs between Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic.
A lifelike baby doll prompted police in New Hampshire to smash a car window in a rescue attempt that turned out to be a false alarm. Last month, someone called the police to report an infant left in a car at a shopping plaza. When the officer got there, he shattered the window with his baton. He says he was looking at a lifeless child but noticed something was off when he began to breathe into the baby's mouth. The lifelike doll belongs to a woman who collects them as a way to cope with her son's death. She says police told her they would pay for that broken window.
A big homecoming for one of our Olympic champions. Katie Ledecky arrived at Dulles International Airport in Washington this afternoon. The gold medalist was greeted by a mob of fans. This past Friday, she crushed her own world record in the 400 and 800 meter freestyle. Ledecky says she accomplished all of the goals she set for herself for Rio, and she hopes to be an inspiration for other future swimmers.
I hope to make as much of an impact as I can, and I know it. You know, we all had our goals in the pool, the U.S. team, but we also had the goal to hopefully inspire other young swimmers, other young kids who are watching on TV, and hopefully we did that.
Ledecky won 4 gold medals in Rio, and she didn't just win them. She killed the competition.
She dominated.
Yes.
Yeah, it wasn't even close.
Not even close.
Yeah.
She was swimming against her own time, and especially in that 800, and she broke her own world record, as we mentioned. It's crazy.
And she might be even faster the next Olympics, because that's, I guess, when swimmers hit their prime, she'll be right there.
Geez, wow. Good luck to her, and congratulations. Well, still to come on your Suncoast News, an FSU student is making headlines for a horrific crime. We'll take a look at the possible drug he could have been on and what effect that has on the body.
Also, a swarm of bees creates problems for a church in Bradenton. One man managed to remove the sting out of that problem.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, we make sure you get the most for your money.
more years, more miles, and when you're ready to sell, you'll get more money back. Come fall in love with the longest-lasting vehicle in its class, the Subaru Outback. Or lease a new 2017 Subaru Forester for just $209 a month. Or get 0% financing right now during the Subaru A Lot to Love event. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Getting older shouldn't mean giving up all the things she loves to do. It should just mean, well, finding new ways to do them. Right at Home's professional team thoughtfully selects caregivers to provide help with personal care, housekeeping, and of course, meal preparation.
Oh, that smells so good. Oh, and it tastes good too.
We can provide the right care right at home.
They took that stress and that tension when I was particularly feeling very bad after that nasty car accident, and it was such a relief to know that I didn't have to bear that burden alone, that I had help.
Our goal is to not just get a satisfactory settlement on their case. We want them up on their feet, happy again. They've gotten their life back.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WinGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WinGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.